All right, and welcome in. Are You Cirrus, episode 28. I am meteorologist Andrew Dockery.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold here at WBF News in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Feel all out of sorts here. Like, this needs to be moved. I'm sorry, Sarah. She's probably hating me. Also, we'll go black.
Get all that done. Yeah, I feel like we're both coming into this one kind of...
It's been a busy week.
It's been a busy week. Like a week of Mondays. An entire week of Mondays.
It's been a busy month.
Yeah, this time of the year. It tends to get like that from now right on through the holidays. It's...
Honestly, yeah, I think I saw a post. It was like 70-something days until 2024. Christmas
scary.
will be here before we know it.
That's scary. Well, you're already basically in Christmas.
Yeah.
Like you're listening to the Christmas carols.
I jumped in this past weekend, and it's so nice. Not to say that I don't like Halloween and Thanksgiving. Actually, Thanksgiving's still my favorite.
Kind of the same, yeah.
Yeah, I just enjoy this time of year.
Yeah.
It gets cooler. It's like, all right, let's go ahead. Yep. I'm ready to decorate the house.
Same. I have to hold myself back.
I think we're going to do the first weekend in November. Emily was like, hey, let's meet at Happy Middle. And then I would keep it up year round if I could. I know I can't, but.
I have a dear friend, and our yearly tradition is the day after Halloween, I go over and we have a tree putting up party at her house.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's Halloween, pumpkins out, Christmas tree in.
And your trees aren't trees.
I go a little big on
They're
trees.
elegant.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like you should have a little museum where you pay $5 to walk around and get some ideas.
Yeah, I do big on Christmas.
Yeah.
I
I remember going in, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then you have my basic tree, which I thought was great until I saw yours. But yeah, fall is here. Fall has changed.
I put this on Facebook the other day. This seems to be one of the better falls we have had in a while.
Yeah.
As far as consistently cool.
Multiple cold fronts.
Yeah, just nice and not too stormy, a little bit of rain just to keep things settled. But yeah, just consistent fall, which is a little rare for us.
Yeah, our news director, Matt Stanley, pulled me into his office a couple days ago and said, does it feel like this October has been like last year when you look, we had rain, but it's very light. Mm-hmm. Rain in October has been sufficient enough to where, like, we've had some systems that have put down 2.5.
Yeah.
So kudos to October. You've won so far.
October
in my pick.
And the temperatures. I remember it was a few years ago. Man, we're like this time in October. I think it was right around the middle of October, and we were like breaking records at 98.
I think that was my very first year here. I remember that.
Oh, it was awful, awful, and humidity sticking around. So.
Yeah, we didn't get a transition till November then.
Yeah.
And even November, I remember like that Thanksgiving was like 81.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't stand it.
Oof.
Yeah, can't stand it.
And I think that also is why I want to go ahead and decorate for Christmas because it's starting to feel.
It's getting that feel, yeah. Especially with these mornings in the 40s.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, we're both like dressed, ready for fall. We're here. How was your weekend?
Weekend was good.
We got an update, I'm sure, that you can share about what you did on the weekend.
Yeah, well, we went ahead without you.
Without me.
To the haunted house.
That's a song, I'm sure.
Up in Aner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you missed out. It was a good time.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Spent a whole Saturday afternoon in Conway, which is now renamed Halloween.
Halloween, South Carolina. Kudos to you all.
Let me tell you, walking around there Saturday afternoon, it was cloudy and it was breezy and it just looked kind of gloomy. And then you're in downtown Conway and there's skeletons and pumpkins and hay bales everywhere.
I love it.
I was like, I'm walking through a movie set.
That's
is what
awesome.
It felt like. It is just, man.
And they've done it like in previous years, but they really upped the game.
They have upped it now.
I love it.
And I love that is a thing for Conway now.
Let's do that. And I know you all already do Christmas Conway, but let's up that even more.
Let's up that. Let's up
North Pole, South Carolina.
I still think there's an opportunity. For Myrtle Beach to up Christmas.
Yes, 100%.
Way up Christmas.
Yes, 100%.
You know, we're always talking about the shoulder seasons around here and kind of getting people to keep coming. Why aren't we decorating the boulevard from one end to the other with just lights as far as you can see?
Yeah. A light show.
Kind of like Gatlinburg, which is Myrtle Beach in the mountains.
Yeah.
Do what they do.
And it blows up.
Blows up. Can you imagine the whole boulevard? Maybe a 2-mile stretch where all the hotels are done. Lights.
Yeah.
Have it open. People driving through. It would be amazing.
It would be amazing. Yeah. They do that, what is that light show they do every December that is where CCMF is. I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's gotten better.
It's gotten better.
But now you need to
expand it. And
Yeah, I don't want to have to get...
I don't have to get out of the car. Right. It's cold.
I would love to
around.
roll through with my pumpkin spice latte from
Right.
Dunkin'.
Yeah. And then enjoy
And
it.
then see.
Yeah.
With my own music.
Yeah.
I love that you said that. We're two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
But yeah, kudos Conway. Love it. Haunted House was great. I did the mini marathon, and I had to bring this up because I met a runner out there right before the race, which kudos to all you mini marathon runners. Also, they got poured on.
Oh, yeah.
Poured.
Not a good morning.
They were like, oh, it let up. And I, as like the MC,
Yeah.
I did not want to say anything because in about an hour, you could clearly tell
It's getting ready to rain.
coming. And I met this lady. I don't even remember her name because she didn't say it. It was right before the race. She was like, oh, my goodness, are you Andrew? And I was like, yeah, well, do you watch us? She was like, I watch when I can, but I listen when I run. And I said, listen when you run. Didn't even occur to me. She listens to our podcast
I love that.
while she runs. Kudos to her.
So shout out to her.
If you're on mile 2 right now, keep running.
Right? Keep going. Keep going.
You're doing more than us. But I
Yeah.
thought that was very unique because
Yeah.
you could be listening to us wherever you are. So we appreciate that. Did you see my viral video?
I did. I did. I woke up that morning to two of my friends texting me saying, oh my gosh, have you seen Andrew? We love Andrew.
Oh,
And then, so the first thing I did was, pop on and there you were losing your button.
yeah. So I did Taste of the Town last week.
Yeah.
On Monday night, which was 27 entrees.
Yep.
You got to see how much we
Yep.
ate. It was a lot. Went to Mellow Mushroom for a Dining with Dockery 2-parter. Next morning,
Yeah. Off it
button
went.
pops off. If you missed it, you could see it. But
Yeah.
it brought up a good point, and we were going to talk about it. Any embarrassing stories that you've had? I had the
So
button
many.
pop.
So many.
I
I've
have a
never-
lot too, but
I've never had a button pop on the air. I think I told this maybe one of our first or second podcasts where I fell on air.
oh, yep, I remember that.
Yeah, was walking from the chroma back to the desk. I was off camera, but I felt like my tie was off or something. So I just grabbed a mirror and I'm walking and talking, looking at myself, and fell over a step live on the air. And you couldn't see me, but all you could hear was me just hitting the floor.
Oh my god!
So that's probably my worst, but yeah.
Do you remember? Do you remember when we got the new set? It's my favorite video of you, and your knee gave out.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, we should pull that one and show that, yeah.
If we pull it, hopefully there's playing right now. That's Emily's favorite clip of you still to this day.
Yeah.
Like if she needs a good laugh, I'm like, let me find that Jamie video.
Yeah, so they somehow ended up in a shot. I think I was supposed to be ready for something, and I wasn't. And so the camera's on me, and I go to stand up. And, of course, it's one thing to have to stand up and not know you're on camera, but then my knee gives out because I'm old and my knees are going out. So.
And when you realize that you ruined it, you're like, roll your eyes
Like,
and walk off.
at that point, it's like, what are you going to do? You have to own it. You know?
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
my knee
that's
gave
funny.
out. But, yeah, so many.
Fly down, that's happened.
Fly down, collars up, all sorts of things. I went, let's see, I've been in this business 21 years now. I think I went 15 years without ever dropping the clicker,
yeah.
during a newscast. I did it twice in one day. I don't know what was going on with me. That was kind of a
Yeah,
funny
I've done
thing.
that one time, trying to do a transition, and I don't know why. It's like my
Yeah.
brain forgot what I was doing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I've had the mic on a couple times when I had to go take a quick bathroom break.
Oh yeah, that's happened to me.
Yeah.
I've also said some words that I didn't think I said, or they came out differently.
Yeah.
Which a couple people, did you just say that? No, there's no way.
no,
And
no.
it sounds like I said it.
Yeah.
So
A lot of my most embarrassing moments, not the most, but just have actually, as you mentioned, have come recently since we got in our new studio. It took a while to kind of get used to that new studio because it's smaller. It was smaller
Yeah.
than the old one, and so some of the shots are kind of tight. And I was just kind of
There's a path you have to walk to
there's
get
a-
around
Yeah, it's like a little maze you have to go
to
through
avoid everything.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not exactly the most graceful person, so it's probably once or twice a week as I'm going through that. If you see the camera shake while the anchors are
Do you
reading,
trip and hit it? Dude.
that's my foot hitting the camera.
I have almost passed out, like falling straight
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Episode 28. We were thinking our news director was supposed to be on episode 28.
He's a tough guy. He's a good guy, but he is tough to nail down.
Oh. So he has 3 more opportunities. Matt Stanley, this is for you.
This is for you, Matt.
So, yeah, I was counting. We have 7, counting this, left. 7 episodes for the end of season 2. One of those is going to be a winter weather outlook, which
love it.
I can't wait. I
Yep.
think we're going to do that at the beginning of November. We have confirmed Mitch and Aaron.
Love it.
Mitch West, Aaron Smith are going to come down to Storm Chasers
Yep.
to end hurricane season.
Yep.
And then December 7th, we will be doing a live podcast. You're still doing research and development.
Yeah, still all over town, man. I'm all over town trying to
Who
find
has,
the
who
perfect
has the
spot.
best specials? But that leaves us 3, not counting tonight, 3 open slots. So if there's something that you want us to talk about that we haven't gotten to, by all means, shoot us a message because that's how today happened.
Yeah, or because we still want Matt Stanley,
Ooh,
email Matt Stanley at mattstanley at WNBFnews.com and tell him you want to see him on the podcast.
ooh, that's good. Is it
Dot
Matt?
Stan-
Yeah, there we
Matt
go.
dot Stanley
Yeah, there we go.
at WNBFnews.com. His office is right over there. So
Let's see if his head will poke up, but
yep.
haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah.
We were in the live chat, though, and if you listen to us, like our avid runner, you could also watch us on YouTube before, after, during the premiere, that we have a live chat. And Susan, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name, Susan, because I'm terrible with names. Take a stab at that. Put on the glasses.
Digatano, Digatano,
Susan D.
Susan D.
said, hey, she's been watching in the live chats for a while now, and I always say, hey,
Yeah,
Susan.
hey Susan. Yeah,
She said, I would love for you all to talk about clouds,
clouds.
which is fitting. It's season 2 of Are You Serious?
and we're just getting to clouds.
You can see that we don't plan this well at all.
Probably should have been episode 1.
It probably should have been. And I think we said, what is a cirrus cloud? But that's it.
That's it.
So, yeah, and I told you, I was like, we got to be very careful because clouds can get...
They can, and as I was messing around the other day, I was actually thinking to myself, should we even do clouds? It's too late now because we're gonna do
Yeah,
clouds.
we've already...
But I was like, well, so many
Hey.
people just listen to the podcast,
Yeah.
so it's going to be kind of hard. So I don't think we should dwell on clouds too much.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk clouds.
Well, we're going to talk about clouds, and we can get really complex with this, or we can get really simple. We were talking about how there's all different types of clouds, and I think we have some demonstrations, if you're watching us behind,
Yep.
that will talk about high level, low level, mid level. Regardless of level, though, the cloud formation process all starts the same.
Yep.
Think back to your basic water
Yeah.
cycle.
Moisture.
Moisture.
Yeah.
You have to have it.
Yeah.
And at some point, that moisture has to go through, and we could get into the fancy terms of air parcels rising or whatever.
Let's not.
But basically, just know that you have to have moisture, and you have to achieve saturation.
Yes.
Point blank, period.
You've already gone way more complicated.
Well, and
than
I'm
I
just
ever-
telling
than
you,
I ever even thought we
For
were
our
gonna do.
hard weather fans,
Wow.
saturation has to be achieved to form
Yeah.
a cloud.
Yeah.
There's 2 ways you can do that.
Yeah.
You can either decrease your temperature,
Yep.
which we're going to dumb it down real quick on that.
Okay.
Or you can increase your water content.
Yeah.
So, this is the basic redneck cloud description right here. I was thinking, and I wrote some examples.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to take this up in the atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
this is how clouds would form. But you see it on an everyday basis. Maybe you can think of some. Morning dew on the grass.
Yep.
It's condensation.
Yep.
Fog in the air.
Fog.
Condensation.
Fog is a cloud.
Fog is a cloud.
Fog is a cloud.
We're going to talk about that.
Yep.
I put clouds in the sky, and I was like, wait, we're doing clouds.
We're doing clouds.
Visible breath in cold temperatures.
Yep. those chilly mornings.
Your temperature difference of your breath hitting the cold air, fogging up a mirror. Mm-hmm. You can also think on a hot summer day, you take a cold drink and you put it outside.
And it starts to sweat.
All this is the process
that makes clouds.
that makes clouds.
Yeah.
But just higher up or even as low as the surface if you're talking about fog. So there's my breaking down the science, Jamie. Now, if you're still listening.
Like, I'm a meteorologist and I kind of zoned out for a minute.
Ooh, glasses in the morning.
Yeah.
Just came to me,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, those hot mornings, walking out, or hot days, walking outside, your glasses fog up.
Walking out from something air conditioning.
That bored me to tears.
Yeah. So welcome in if you are just now tuning in. If you skip through, this is the fun part of this. And we get to talk about some of our favorite clouds.
So I'll take over the fun part.
Let me put my glasses up.
Yeah, so clouds are, all the cloud names are Latin. Yep, they're all Latin derivatives.
I'm glad you put that because I almost wrote it down. But I was like, do I?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot more fun than what you were talking
Yeah,
about.
well, condensation,
And then,
y'all.
as you mentioned, low, mid, high level.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite cloud level?
No.
Okay, just curious. I love high level clouds.
And I think those are kind of boring.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So let's talk high level clouds. So
Okay.
You start talking high level clouds, you're generally up above about 20,000 feet.
Yep.
These clouds are ice crystals. They're not usually precipitation producing clouds.
Correct.
They're just up there floating around 20,000 feet, 30,000 feet. You can get some that are even higher.
Yeah.
So we're talking your Cirrus
Are you serious?
clouds, which is kind of the most basic high level cloud.
Yep.
Is a cirrus. And then you can sort of start branching out. So you have cirrostratus,
Not going to get too complicated.
cirrocumulus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are your high level clouds.
And those are the ones that I like to call the paintbrush clouds.
Yeah.
So it looks like
wisps.
someone just a little wisp in the air
Wisp
out there.
in the air, yeah.
Those clouds, too, if you want a forecasting trick, usually will tell you the next day what's going to happen. If those clouds start to thicken up, more than likely you got rain coming on in the next day or two.
Yep.
If those clouds go from higher level and then to clear skies, cooler, drier
Then they
air
go.
is coming in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so as the storm system is approaching, the first cloud type that you're going to have moving overhead is typically cirrus.
Yep.
Around here, you're going to get high-level clouds, then you start getting your mid-level clouds, and then finally you get your low-level clouds as the atmosphere moistens.
high level clouds, clear, calm conditions.
So cirrus,
Yep.
cirrostratus, cirrocumulus, which we'll get into cumulus later, and contrails, which are actually a cloud type.
Actually, a cloud type.
Contrails, not chemtrails. Not chemtrails. We're not getting poisoned by planes flying in the atmosphere. If you're one of those people, put on your tinfoil hat and watch another podcast. This isn't the one for you.
Thanks for spending your time with us.
This is the podcast for you.
Oh, I love that you brought it up.
Contrails,
Contrails,
not
not chemtrails. Contrails.
And you know what? If they are poisoning us, I still don't care. Take your tinfoil and go somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm going to get a nice write-up.
Don't have time for that.
His email is, no, just kidding.
Yeah, let me have it. I don't care.
So we go from high-level clouds to mid-level clouds.
Mid-level clouds, yeah.
Also one of my favorite cloud types. I am obsessed with clouds.
It's the same,
I love all levels.
but I don't have like a favorite mid-level cloud.
I don't like any low-level clouds other
So
than like...
between your mid-level, is it stratocumulus, altocumulus, altostratus, or nimbostratus?
I like the stratocumulus, honestly. And what's cool is sometimes you can get the gravity waves in those.
Yeah, that's fun.
To where you get the little ripple effects.
Yep.
And it looks like these clouds are like little speed bumps in the road.
Yep.
That's always fun.
Yep.
Cirrostratus is basically cirrus clouds to me.
Yeah.
They don't do anything for me. And then you get into the other ones. It's just a gloomy day.
Yeah.
Nimbus.
Nimbus,
And then what was it?
nimbostratus.
Nimbus stratus. I'm trying to think what else.
So I feel like we've jumped ahead.
No, we have.
So we got 4 basic cloud types. Cirrus,
Yep.
up high. Stratus,
Yep.
nimbus, which are precipitation-producing clouds, and cumulus.
Yep.
Those are your 4, if you were to break it down to the most basic set. That's what you have.
Yeah.
But then you can get combinations
In between.
of all of those. So that's how you get stratocumulus
Yeah.
or
It's the mix in between the two.
cirrostratus,
Yeah.
which is going to be cirrus clouds, but a solid deck of clouds.
It's just kind of fascinating. If
Yeah,
you will.
as we're deeper into this, I'm realizing, yeah, this is probably not a good podcast topic.
There's a thing that the National Weather Service has, and you can actually print this out or you can buy one. It's their cloud chart.
Yeah.
Growing up, I had a cloud chart, and it has all the levels,
Yep.
and at each level, all the variations.
Yeah.
And there's a total of like 36 combinations, so good luck
Yeah.
to you. But it's really cool to go out and look at it and then go to your cloud if you're a geek.
Yeah.
And then look and be like, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Or it's probably a mixture of one of these two.
Yep.
But yeah, we probably did that backwards. We probably should have
Yeah.
told the
Yeah.
cloud
So
types.
there's your 4 cloud types. Yeah. There's one cloud type that occupies all 3 levels: low, mid, and high. If I had to pick, that's my favorite cloud, your cumulonimbus. Again, a combination of cumulus and nimbus.
There's no doubt that that is the greatest cloud.
Yeah, the
in
greatest cloud. Cumulonimbus, that's your basic thunderstorm.
Yep.
Or even your shower.
Yeah.
Big,
Tower.
tall, towering,
Summertime.
what we used to call a thunderhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
And then if you really wanted to break it down, we're not going to do it on this podcast. In that cumulonimbus cloud, there's different types of things that you would look out for, especially for severe weather.
Yep.
That would be fun in the spring. We'll
That
go
would
into
be.
that.
Yeah.
For right now, though, cumulonimbus occupies all levels of the cloud type and brings our favorite weather, storms, which we love.
Storms, which also leads into my other favorite cloud type, the shelf cloud.
The shelf cloud.
Shelf cloud.
Shelfie season.
Man, I love a shelfie. I love a shelfie. Just like that. One of the best shelfies we've ever had here in Myrtle Beach. That was a good one.
So when it comes to shelf clouds, because I know we're going to get this question, how do shelf clouds form?
So you have a thunderstorm that develops. Rain starts to fall out of that thunderstorm, and as that happens, it's cooling the atmosphere as it does. Well, because that rain and that cool air is hitting the ground, it's got to do something when it hits the ground. So it starts to spread out, and you basically create almost like a miniature cold front on the leading edge of your thunderstorm. So that shelf cloud forms as that air comes down, hits the ground, and kind of rises back up, kind of almost bounces a little bit, and you get that push of cool air, and that forms that shelf cloud on the leading edge of your thunderstorm.
And
we get a lot of good shelf clouds around
a
here.
ton.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just the geography with it and just how it all interacts around here, but
Yeah.
it's fantastic. In Kentucky, we were rare enough, and I'm sure you've probably seen them down here. I haven't seen one down here lately, but we were lucky enough to where our shelf clouds would actually turn into roll clouds.
Roll clouds. Yeah.
Which are amazing. So
Yeah.
instead of everything being pushed out, you actually have a circulation of the cloud ahead of the storm to where it tightens up and it looks like just a cylinder coming at you.
Yeah, it's like literally a rotating cylinder that's,
Oh, it's
Yeah,
it's
and
like
you can
what's the Baker thing? The
rolling pin.
Rolling pin.
Yeah.
It's like that ahead
Yeah.
of the cloud. And you could see
Yeah.
the rotations ahead of it. Oh, so good.
Yep.
Those two are different, though. I do want to bring up shelf clouds because this is your favorite cloud. Here in this area, we get shelf clouds. We also get the things that we associate with shelf clouds as scud.
Scud.
Scary-looking clouds,
Scary looking clouds, yeah.
especially in the spring and summer. We'll have a lot of people say, hey, we got a funnel or we got a tornado about to touch down.
And
For
it's
those-
just scud.
It's just scud. And basically what's happened is that rain cooled air.
Yeah.
You're starting to have some condensation that actually can drip down pretty low.
Yeah.
To where if you don't know what it is, there is no rotation,
Yeah.
but it looks like things coming down.
Little fingers, yeah. And especially with a shelf cloud, if you've paid attention as a shelf cloud comes over, especially as that leading edge pushes over you, if you look up, the atmosphere is just, it's just boiling and rolling under there. And as ominous as it looks, there's no tornadic type of rotation
Yeah.
up in there. Yes, there's a lot of turbulence. You can get damaging wind gusts with shelf clouds, but there's no tornadic kind of rotation. But with so much motion going on in the atmosphere, you can get those scud clouds that a lot of times can be, I call them fake NATOs.
Yeah.
They can kind of take on that look, but aren't actually that.
I'm trying to think what other clouds I like.
Let's talk about the newest cloud, the brand new cloud.
Brand new cloud.
Yeah, it's not brand new. It's a couple years old. Officially got its name. Did I stump you?
And yeah, I think so.
I didn't get a picture of it. Undulatus
Oh.
asperatus. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that cloud?
That's kind of tough. You've no doubt seen pictures of Undulatus asperatus on Facebook.
We need to have a spelling bee.
I think I'm pronouncing that right, right?
I think so. Undulatus asperatus.
Undulatus asperatus, yeah. So
Unless it's asperatus, but regardless.
close enough.
Asperatus, asperatus.
So it's a type of stratus cloud, which your stratus clouds are usually low to mid-level. They kind of blanket the entire sky. Think of a normal overcast day. That's a stratus cloud. But as wind energy moves through the atmosphere, remember the atmosphere, think of it like a river. It moves like water. So if everything's just fine, you get these undulatus asperatus
That's the
stratus
greatest looking
clouds
cloud.
that look like waves. And if you look at a time lapse of them, they even move like waves. And you get really funky looking shapes in these clouds.
The plains, the northern plains, are the number one area you will see those at.
Yep.
Especially, too, on those like cloudy, overcast, cool
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
You get some of the higher level winds coming out of Canada.
Yep. And it creates this little ripple in the atmosphere.
And it literally looks like a wave pool.
Yeah, a wave
Just
pool.
sitting there.
Which leads me to one of my other favorite
I didn't know that
clouds.
was officially named.
Yeah, officially named just a couple of years ago.
Oh, well,
I'll
in
have to
college, we just called it that. And I guess that
Yeah.
was just
Yeah, no, it's a fairly, it went into the official cloud
Okay.
guide.
the more
sky.
you know.
Yeah, my other favorite wave cloud is the Kelvin Helmholtz.
Oh.
We're getting really geeky here. We're going to have to put pictures of these up.
Yeah, we're going to have to, because take a look here.
Yeah, Kelvin Helmholtz, which
Yeah.
also literally look like a cartoon wave.
Yeah.
They're mid and high level clouds, but again, you've got a fast layer of wind in the upper atmosphere, and it creats little wave shapes.
Yeah.
Kelvin Helmholtz.
Can we talk about one of my favorite clouds? Because I don't already like it already. Lenticular clouds.
Love a good lenticular cloud, which we're not going to get around here because
No,
you
we
need a
don't have the
mountain.
mountains.
Yeah,
But man, when we went to Colorado and I saw my
Yeah.
first one in person,
Yeah.
I about cried.
Yeah.
It looks so pretty.
Yeah.
And basically, it's this cloud that just looks like a cat sitting on top of a mountain, very thin and very faint. And if it's good enough, you can actually see the mountain peak still through the lenticular. And I remember being on our honeymoon and being like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my. And then was like,
Yeah.
what? What is it? Is it an
Yeah.
elk?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've looked
No,
at the.
no, lenticular. Believe it or not, they sometimes get mistaken for UFOs.
Yeah,
because
they
they
do.
take on a really weird, almost flying saucer shape, and they're stationary. Wind blows up a mountain, cool air condenses, forms a cloud. Well, that same air goes down the mountain on the other side, so the cloud forms, and then it disappears, and it just sits on top of the mountain. We can occasionally get them on our mountains. Up in North Carolina, occasionally you'll get some lenticular up there.
Trying to think if there's any other weird clouds that we
Hole
get
punch-
a lot of photos.
hole punch clouds?
Hole punch clouds are cool. You get the fall streak through those too, which are always cool.
Which basically happens as a plane
Yeah, flies through.
a high level cirrus, usually a cirrus stratus,
Yeah.
or even a stratocumulus cloud, and that little bit of turbulence from the plane flying through is just enough to get that cloud to actually produce a little bit of precipitation, and it looks like a hole
In the
cloud.
middle of the
Yeah,
cloud
it's
cover.
called a hole punch.
That's
Yeah,
really cool.
you got a lot of research. to
Yeah, I
do.
was,
You got to put these pictures up.
I'm gonna go back and
Yeah.
start and then
Yeah.
send them to Anya.
Yeah, let
She's
Anya do it.
gonna love us this
Oh, yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Mamatus.
Love Mamatus. Oh, man.
Mamatus. I used to call it Mamatus.
Yeah.
Mamatus.
Yeah.
Mamatus clouds. Typically on a strong thunderstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath the thunderstorm, usually underneath an anvil if you have one.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like
Let's explain where the name came from.
oh, I'll let you do that.
Because it looks like what?
I
Looks
never
like
know
what?
how I never know how to say it.
Well, it's in the name.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And we're talking science here, so we
Yeah,
don't have to worry
yeah.
about Are You Serious After Dark?
No.
This isn't After Dark. Mamatus. Again, all clouds are Greek named. So
Mm-hmm.
Mamatus comes from mama, which means breasts.
Yeah.
And it looks like
I was gonna say sack. Looks like little sacks that come down
that
from the
sounds
clouds.
worse than what I
I know. So
I'm trying to go with a scientific term, and you're doing this.
it just look like, and they just droop, and it's underneath the anvil.
Yep. Yeah. Some people say they look like cow's udders.
Yes, I can see that too.
Yeah, which is a
Or little
nicer to
sacks.
say than drooping sacks.
We've been canceled. This is it.
Yeah. Matt Stanley's never coming on now.
There won't be an episode 29.
No.
So yeah, Mamatis.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of some low-level clouds. I'll be honest with you.
Like fog.
Yeah, hate it.
Fog is a stratus cloud.
Yeah,
which is
probably
on the
because it
ground.
always ruins your forecast too.
Yeah.
Like even if you're forecasting fog.
Yeah.
Especially here.
Yeah, in the spring we get the sea fog, which is awful. That's a whole nother. We could do a whole episode on sea fog in the spring.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
low-level clouds. Like they usually bring the gloomy, the overcast, some showers.
So your low levels are your cumulus, your nimbus, your stratus.
Nimbus stratus is disgusting.
Nimbostratus is just, think of one of those days where it rains all day long.
I love the weather, but I
Love
hate
the
the
weather.
cloud.
That's a nimbostratus where it's just a steady, all day, widespread rain. Comes from nimbostratus.
Is
Nimbo is taken from the Latin of precipitation producing. So that's where you get nimbus. And then you get, again, cumulonimbus. So a cloud that's growing up, nimbus because it's producing precipitation.
I'm still laughing at my comment on.
Yeah, we need to move on from that.
Yeah. So high-level clouds, low-level clouds, mid-level clouds. Anything else you want to add about clouds?
I think we're done. I think we need to move on.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, we need to move on.
All right, let's shoot the breeze, shall we?
Please. I'm going to kick this off because you need to take a little break.
I have always saw little sacks just that were
I can't believe you're still saying that.
just filled with.
I can't believe you're still saying that. Oh, this is kind of fun.
Uh-oh.
Getting us off of
Clouds.
troopy cloud udders. What's something you hope to do someday? Jalea White, Facebook. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Travel.
Yeah, I just want to keep traveling. Like that's from here on out. Like I'm getting to the age now where I'm on a downhill slide now. Like I've reached my peak. From here on out, it's just kind of, whatever happens, happens. But as long as I'm able to, I'm traveling.
Yeah.
I'm traveling, and I don't even have to go overseas. I do. I will. But I still got a lot more of the U.S. to see.
And see, this is a hot take for me. I would much rather. This is going to make me sound terrible. At this point, this episode is just great for me. I would much rather travel and see everything here first
Yeah.
before go over.
Yeah.
I've never been overseas.
Yeah.
Traveled a lot.
I haven't either. I've been to the Caribbean, but I've never been to Europe.
Yeah.
And the number one thing holding me back is I can't sit on a plane that long.
That's a long time.
The thought of being on a plane that long gives me anxiety.
Yeah. I could see that.
I can handle about 3 hours.
I can handle enough to get to the West Coast, and that's it. So
Yeah.
about 3-4 hours.
Denver, that's almost a 4-hour flight.
That's the furthest I've been.
And that last hour, I'm needing a little something.
Well, and then it's like you're flying overseas, but you're still in the same plane. Yeah. Like no comfort, no luxury.
No. Now, if I can afford the first class and get those
Well, then
planes
sure,
with a little
yeah, I'd
bed or
love to
something,
travel
fine.
overseas.
Yeah, take a couple of pills, a little drink, wake me up when we land in London. But yeah,
There's no, I just,
Yeah.
and I want to go over, like overseas. Emily's like, you have to go. And everyone says that. But man,
Yeah, I'll
there's
go.
there's just plenty I want to do here.
oh, same. So much
Also,
I
it's-
haven't seen
it's
yet.
cheaper here.
It's a lot cheaper, yeah.
Then
And also kind of safer.
oh, yeah.
A lot of stuff going on overseas that I don't want to be close to.
Well, a kid from Kentucky barely knew anything outside of Kentucky,
Well,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like there's so much more here. Yeah, good question.
Yeah,
trying to
I like
think.
that.
I'd love to.
Oh, and also, I guess for me, retire. Just hoping I can retire one day.
yeah.
That's number one goal right now.
Yeah,
Get me to retire.
I don't know what else
Not
I'd like to
anytime
do.
soon, but
I'd like to do something with like more cooking down the road when I have more time.
Same
Like
with me in
perfect
gardening. Yeah.
dishes.
Yeah.
Like I want to be like, oh hey, when Brooks gets old enough, Dad, I need that recipe. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, I got you.
Like I want to
Yeah,
perfect
that
it.
would be good. Yeah.
I don't know. Is there a specific weather topic each of you often research? Research would be loose for me at this stage.
Yeah.
I researched a lot of severe weather growing up in college. Love severe weather. That is bread and butter for me.
For me, it changes with the season.
Yeah.
You know, and it depends on kind of what's going on as we're getting closer into winter now.
Yeah.
I'll start, peeking ahead into, winter storm setups, and we're kind of getting into that time of year where there's a lot of long-term forecasts coming out for the winter. So that's kind of what I'm
Doing right
looking
now.
at right now. It's like, oh, well, what, this mean and this mean, and what
Yeah.
do we get from this pattern, and that kind of thing. And then it'll shift as we head into spring for severe weather.
Yeah, I love analogs. I'm addicted
Yeah.
to that. Seeing what years have the same pattern, like you said.
I don't necessarily.
I don't really like geek out over snowstorms, though. Not
No.
nationally.
Yeah, no.
But if it's a severe weather setup, like in Oklahoma, I'm usually glued.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it's not so much research, but I love to watch like Kansas
Coverage.
and Oklahoma TV stations
Yeah.
when they're having a tornado outbreak. Just
Talk
to
about
see how they do it. I couldn't do it.
There's no way.
Don't you want to go to Oklahoma? Nope.
No.
I'm not dealing with that.
If you've never seen it, they have like 6 boxes, live choppers,
Choppers
storm
flying around,
chasers.
tornado. Oh yeah,
The
unbelievable.
Chiefs driving the ship, like complete, like.
Yeah, crazy. I couldn't go. It gives me anxiety.
Hey,
to watch
Mark,
that.
you're over here on Highway
Yeah.
17. What are you?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
On my downtime, again, it's not so much research, but it's just what I consider to be fun. I'll dig into, just get down in a hole on like hurricane videos on YouTube. Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Like previous, like,
Yeah, like previous hurricanes,
and just
and
watch.
just watch the videos. And whether it's from a storm chaser or Billy Bob, who set his camera up
Yeah.
in his backyard.
I'll do that with past coverage.
Yeah,
So, like,
love it.
the recent one I did is I watched Hurricane Andrew
Mm-hmm.
a couple months ago. And when I say watch, I mean, like, any station that had coverage. Oh, man.
yeah,
YouTube history, all like Hurricane
Yep.
Andrew stuff.
yep.
And then Katrina, watched a little bit on that. What else was there? But yeah, I think I'd rather do that than like the videos.
Yeah.
Granted, they're both kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, not much research. You don't do your research that you got your doctorates in anymore? For those that don't know, research is a very extensive thing.
Oh, Scott Thompson. Is there a chance of a white Christmas? Well, there's always a chance, but it's really slim.
It is very slim.
In the history of Myrtle Beach, there has been one.
Wouldn't it be cool to change it completely and make it two?
Two.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. And I think this should be a big topic for our final episode. I know that's going to be our live episode,
Yeah.
so we'll have some fun with that, but I think we need to cover it. The famous 1989
Yeah,
White
I like that.
Christmas. That's just, as far as Grand Strand weather history, it's like
That'd be
Hazel
fun.
Hugo White Christmas. It's,
I think we do that, and then we do like question and answer.
yeah.
Maybe
That-
a gift exchange.
That takes me back to the previous question about the research. That is one system I still love to go back and look at. Is the White Christmas of '89.
Yeah.
Just how it happened, the setup for it. How could something that extreme happen? It's happened before, which means it happens again. So, is there a chance of a White Christmas? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Before you got here, we got really close. I think it was 2010, maybe 12. I'm starting to lose focus. We had a white December 26th.
oh
Yeah. You want to talk about close?
man,
Yeah. It started snowing. It was a big snow in the PD. 4-6 inches. Florence, Darlington, Lumberton. Started as rained all the way through Christmas Day. And then right around sunrise on December 26th, the rain changed over to snow. We got about an inch here. It wasn't big, but yeah, good 4 to 6
Still.
inch snow inland, yeah, day after Christmas. Which was still nice to see with the decorations up and
oh
everything.
yeah. That's like Christmas gift.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Christmases because I was in Virginia for Christmas, and because we were forecasting this snow to develop, I kind of had to leave Virginia and come home early, so I left Virginia Christmas morning. I was up in Roanoke, Virginia, and it snowed on me from Roanoke all the way to about Charlotte as I was driving home. And just driving on Christmas Day. Granted, I was alone and I was kind of grumpy because I had to go to work. But you're driving in the snow, which is one of my favorite things to do. Mm-hmm. The roads weren't terrible, but just driving in snow, seeing the snowflakes, I love that.
Yeah.
Listening to Christmas carols.
Oh,
It was me and the dogs in the car.
It's a dream.
And I was like, yeah, this is, yeah, that was good.
Christmas is the only time of the year, this is going to sound really bad, where I wish I didn't live in Myrtle Beach because our chances are so low.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've only had 2 white Christmases in my lifetime. And talk about a magical experience.
Oh, it's, yeah.
To wake up and see snow. Like, I would just love it. Now, it does lose its little ring when you go up into the north and the northeast and it's snow all the time.
Right, yeah.
Which is not where I want to be.
Yeah.
But I just wish our chances were a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So, Scott, it's already hard enough to get snow in general.
Yeah, right. Much less on, threading that needle. That's tough.
All right, let's see.
But it'll happen again one of these next 1,000 years or so.
It will. Oh, good question for you here.
Oh, God.
Why is it that some beaches have much bigger waves than others? Wind, topography, surf side compared to the Outer Banks. This is coming from Andy Johnson via YouTube.
Andy, wow.
Great
coming
question,
in with
Andy.
A serious question. The simple answer.
Okay, I was about to go simple too. If you had a complex one.
It's complex, but
Okay.
little weather 101 for you. Bathymetry.
Bathymetry.
Bathymetry, which is basically the geography of the ocean floor.
Yeah.
That's the primary factor behind your wave heights.
I was going to go a lot simpler.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say the things that influence your wind other than bathymetry and the sea surface or wind, but not just wind, duration of a breeze, how long that wind lasts, obviously, how strong that wind is, and the direction will always have the 3 contributed. In fact, up in the Great Lakes for their snow, they refer to the wind duration and the orientation of the wind, same way we would with our waves, but they do it for lake effect snow. They call it fetch.
The fetch. Yep.
The fetch here has a big influence, obviously, on, and we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Like wind direction coming, out of the southwest, probably going to have a little bit more increased waves than something out of the northwest. But yeah, I'm glad you said bathymetry. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to explain that.
Yeah. So think about here. It's hard for us to get really big waves here. We get it during a hurricane.
Yeah.
But overall, even if there's a hurricane way offshore, we'll get an increase, but we don't get massive waves unless literally a hurricane's rolling up the coast. And that's because our continental shelf, the bathymetry of the coast offshore, is very gradual, really gradual. So your waves break way out, and then they just kind of slowly continue to break as they come right up to the beach.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of sandbars way out there that kind of also will take big waves, huge waves that are out over the ocean, and knock them back. They'll break coming over those sandbars. Now you go up to the Outer Banks of North Carolina, their coastline, the bathymetry is a lot steeper.
Yeah.
It's not super steep, but it's just steep enough that as these waves are coming in, they're not breaking until they hit the beach. So that's how you can get those double-digit
Big surf area up there, too.
big surf up there on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. The shape of our coastline also helps.
Yeah.
Our predominant wind direction for big waves around here is a northeast wind. But because of our coast, how we're kind of tucked back in here, Cape Fear actually breaks up a lot of our waves. So you get up there around that point up at Cape Fear, you get up there on the north side, you get some big waves up there.
Yeah.
But we're sort of in a little shadow where those waves kind of break a little bit.
Good question, Andy.
Bathymetry.
Bathymetry.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more.
One more.
We've had a lot of good topics on this
We
episode.
have. I don't want to get any of
Wow. Just seeing, he's going through the best one.
Does the National Weather Service use the same stations as you do, like Conway, Aner, etc.? It's kind of the opposite. We use the National Weather Service observing stations.
Yeah. The National Weather Service is the one who puts out the ASOS stations.
Yeah.
The METAR and META sites. Anything you see that has a temperature on our graphics is more than likely
You
to be
just threw out a
official.
lot of terms that nobody knows what they're talking
I
about.
know. I don't know the
So
abbreviation
I'm
for
gonna put.
METAR.
I was getting ready to put you
Do
under the
you
bus
know
here.
the?
I don't know. I don't remember METAR. ASOS. You remember ASOS?
Automatic.
Oh, you're taking too long. Automated Surface
Automated.
Observing.
Oh.
Automated Surface Observing System. ASOS.
ASOS.
Basically, what ASOS is all your major airports, most big towns around the country have an ASOS, which is just a weather station.
Yeah.
That's primarily what we use: current temperature, rainfall, climate data, highs, lows.
I forgot I even said ASOS.
all of it. Yeah, ASOS.
Which then some ASOS stations are broken up into two different types, but yeah.
Are they?
Well, one's official, and then the other one can be unofficial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Which
then you have METAR.
METAR data, which is, I don't know that
I can't remember
abbreviation.
that one. Yeah.
And then Mattis is just like a low end METAR. So.
Mattis is So Mattis is Aner. Like
Yeah.
your smaller towns will have a
Yeah.
kind of,
It's a lot cheaper and more affordable too. They
Yeah.
don't measure all the same things that an ASOS or a METAR. So ASOS, the pristine,
Yep.
METAR, Mattis. It didn't say that Mattis is bad. It just doesn't measure everything that you may want from an airport.
Yeah. So
per se.
locally, we have ASOS sites at Myrtle Beach Airport,
Yep.
North Myrtle Beach,
Yep.
Florence, and
and
Lumberton.
Lumberton.
Those are our 4 major sites. Really 3 because Myrtle Beach isn't the official site.
Yeah.
North Myrtle Beach is.
Yeah.
But 4 ASOS stations here. And then we have a lot of other smaller ones.
And then in between those, you have those very small ones.
Yeah, and then you have Billy Bob that has a rain gauge and a thermometer and posted on Weather Underground. But sometimes that information's great too.
that helps us
Valuable
out.
stuff,
Coca
yeah.
Ross, those things help us out. It's how we make our little rain graphics.
Yeah, how much
things
rain
like
fell,
that.
yeah.
So thank you for that. But yeah,
Good
we
stuff.
use their stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
I wish I could say it was ours, but
yeah.
we use the National Weather Service
we
and stuff.
We use there for observations. Yeah, we use theirs.
We already looked ahead. Winter Outlook coming up.
Yep.
Mitch West, Aaron Smith, and then the finale, which I need to write on here now, 1989.
At least hit on it. Maybe show some good pictures. Maybe if anybody was here in '89, they can bring their pictures. That's one of my favorite things to do is look at old
Ooh,
people.
and look at 'em?
Look at old pictures from 1989.
That would be fun.
With snow up to the door handles of cars. And
Yeah.
drifts up the side of houses.
I would love to see those.
Right.
I've seen the ones that are on the National Weather Service site, but that's about it.
Yeah. One more announcement again as a reminder. Matt.Stanley
At
WMEFnews.com. Tell him
Subject, are you serious?
we really want to see you on Are You Serious?
Jamie and Andrew have promised it, and we're
Yeah.
expecting you.
Yeah, and we will behave a little. No Mamada's Cloud Talk with Matt Stanley is here.
Oh, I can't believe.
Yeah. Add that to your most embarrassing list.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. Drippy sacks.
I've always referred to him as that, too.
All right. Hopefully not on air.
No.
Good.
No.
Good.
No. But I did used to say the word droop or sag, and I don't say that word anymore.
Nah. I can see
It's
how a
kinda
cold
some
front may
cringy words.
sag into the area. Yeah, it's like people hate moist.
Yeah, it's not a good word to say on air.
I say it all the time.
Moist?
Well, like moist, moisture.
Moisture, yeah, but
Yeah.
moist?
Well, maybe. Sometimes I've said it just feels moist. I'm not one of those people who's freaked out by the word moist. That doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me either, but I know that's like some people that.
Yeah. Well.
Well, that does it for us.
Yeah, I think we need to wrap this one up.
Episode 28. Are you serious? Hopefully soon you'll see our news director, Matt Stanley.
Yep. Wait, I forgot. What are we doing next week?
I don't know.
Okay, good. Hopefully it turns out better than this week.
Break. I think this week has been clutch material.
This is fun. This was fun. So let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it
Thanks,
up.
y'all. Appreciate it. Send in your questions. Like, rate, subscribe,
Share,
share,
comment.
and comment. and send questions.
Thanks, friends.
See ya.